Good morning. Welcome to today's edition of Pointing to the Cross. And today's topic is spiritual markers. In Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15, we find these words, "And if it seems evil to you to serve the Lord, choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." After Joshua spoke these words, the people decided that they would serve the Lord as well. And here's what Joshua did. In verse 25 and 26, it says, "So Joshua made a covenant with the people that day, and made for them a statute and an ordinance in Shechem. Then Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law, and he took a large stone and set it up there under the oak that was by the sanctuary of the Lord." About anywhere you go in East Tennessee, you're going to find signs by the side of the road commemorating historical landmarks. And they make sure that we remember the places and events of our past. They may set aside a famous place in history, a famous person's acts, maybe a famous event. And without those signs of designation, people who follow, who may have never heard of these things, may use the land for a different purpose and destroy its history. Well, we find that concept in this passage today. Israel had been delivered in a mighty way by God. They had been brought out of the land of Egypt. The Red Sea had been parted. The greatest army in the world had been destroyed. In the wilderness, they were provided water, manna, and meat. Their shoes didn't wear out. Their clothes did not wear out. In battle, God had parted the Jordan that they crossed over on dry land. And He delivered their enemies into their hands and given them great victories such as the one at Jericho. Now their leader, Joshua, is about to die. And in the future, maybe there might rise up a generation that didn't know these events, that didn't witness these things, and they could easily forsake God without the preservation of these witnesses. That's why Joshua set up the stone, to be a perpetual witness of these things to the people who follow. And so it should be in our lives. We need spiritual markers in our lives, markers to leave behind a witness to our posterity. Things like our personal witness, maybe an enduring ministry, maybe a family Bible, things that can serve as object lessons for ourselves now and for those around us and for those who follow us. An example for me, I hope that the church that we started 12 years ago is alive and well long after I'm gone. Or maybe it's a soul that you led to the Lord that can carry the torch to a new generation. Maybe it's something as simple as having family devotions and raising your children in church. So ask yourself this question today: what spiritual markers am I setting up to influence the generations after me? Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Pointing to the Cross.